I'm wondering if we could talk a little bit about school selection. I know that obviously you promote your school, you go out and tell people about it, but what are some factors you encourage applicants to think about in terms of size, location,
Mhm.
programs?
Yeah, I mean, so a variety of different things, and unfortunately or fortunately, everybody's going to tell you something different. I mean, LSAC has a really good tool on their website, so that's always a good starting point. And so you can actually enter in your GPA and your LSAT score, and it's going to give you schools that where you would fit in the range for schools. You can even do it by geographic location. So that's a great starting point just to get an idea of what exists. Because if I would have realized all the law schools that there are out there now that I know now in this position when I was applying to law school, I probably would have applied to some other ones as well, and not applied to some of the ones I did. Especially if you're first generation law student or first generation undergrad student, you really don't have that context on what you're doing if you don't have a good pre-law advisor that can help you guide that way a little bit. So, so I'd start with that tool. Other things is really just thinking about what you're interested in. Um, for an actual degree perspective. So obviously the JD, but if you're interested in environmental law, if you're interested in business law, those are the type of things. See what programs are out there that are specifically tailored for that. So for like us with our Indigenous Law and Policy Center, we're one of the few in the country that have that opportunity that provide a certificate for it. And so many students are interested in that type of thing. And so they're going to pursue that as part of coming here. And that's why they looked at us to begin with. I'm trying to think of other things. You hear a lot about geographic reach, so location to where you're wanting to practice, it can play an impact. So some law schools are very much regional in nature, and they have a very strong alumni base. And so students who are in those areas, those regional law schools can really provide a benefit for them. Many times you maybe a cheaper cost as well than going to some of the larger law schools in the country. But you're still going to be able to get those job prospects in that region that you're wanting. Other law schools are national, so to speak, with alumni all over the country. And so looking for alumni in those areas could be really beneficial. Reaching out to the admissions office at the school or just, researching on our website can give you context on that. Or state bars, for example, will have context when it comes to what the bar passage rates are from certain schools, depending on level. And that does vary widely state by state on what they publicly release, for better or for worse. But some states you can see that's like California, for example. I think if more than 11 students take the bar in that state or in California from that school, then they'll go ahead and publish the passage rate for that state or for that school in the state, even if they're out of state schools. Whereas in Michigan, they only list the Michigan schools and then other. So it can vary in that regard. So thinking about those type of things and where you're wanting to end up geographically can be beneficial because while a lot of students are shooting for those big, top 14 or top 30 law schools, some of the regional schools can really be beneficial when it comes to job market for where you're going.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.